Good evening. I'm District Secretary Nicole Gonzalez. It is Tuesday, April 5th, 2016, and this is a regular meeting of the Dublin Santa Mountain Services District Board of Directors. Presiding this evening is President Pat Howard.
Thank you. Call the meeting to order, and would you please join me in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Director Duarte,
Here.
Director Michelot, Director Von Meter-Leopold,
Here.
Vice President Halkin, President Howard.
Here. And the next is special announcement. Howard.
First item, I guess, is we have a little special event. Tegan McLean, Cultural Arts and Heritage Manager. I'll stand up. She is in the audience and present. We're here to present her with a check for $2,500 from the district to the city to share in the cost of the McCormick family archway that was erected in Emerald Glen Park. Correct? And if you want to understand, you have some handouts to show the
I'd like to
directors.
show you a sketch of what it looks like, yes. Show you size. Thank you. Can I say a few words about it?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. As you remember, in 2013, the City Council voted to rename the Emerald Glen Rose Garden as the McCormick Rose Garden, and you generously stepped forward and offered to make a donation that would be matched by the city for a piece of artwork to commemorate the Rose Garden. This piece of art is considered a donation to the city, so it is handled with a slightly different procedure than our normal public art. And in this case, Claudia McCormick wanted to be involved in the selection of the art. So staff presented her with some artist options, and she chose one. The artist she chose is Eric Powell. He's a metal artist out of Berkeley. You may be familiar with his work. He does have a piece in Dublin already at the Connolly Station. It's called Wellspring, and it's the birds that fly up, sort of up in a spiral. He's also working on a piece for True Marks Wallace Ranch development right now, and does a lot of pieces for parks and public buildings. His pieces are very durable, made out of steel. The piece that he proposed for Claudia and to commemorate the McCormick Rose Garden is an archway. Originally, you may remember, Claudia had been interested in something that conveyed Mr. McCormick's Irish heritage. It was talked about possibly having a Celtic cross, of course, being on city property and with city partial funding of that, we couldn't do a religious symbol. So we worked with her to come up with something a little bit different. The artist proposed Celtic lettering, and you'll see that at the top of the sign. And the leaves and vines that are throughout the archway are sort of in a Celtic pattern and reminiscent of Celtic knotwork or the kells that are inked in that part of the country or part of the world. And we're very excited to have the art getting ready to be under fabrication. It's currently in engineering, and City expects to install the piece in the early summer. So we are very appreciative of your donation and your participation in this, and we will be back in touch to let you know when it is ready to be installed so that you can be participant in that. Thank you.
Oh, sure.
We don't have a camera here, but
Darn.
it's the photo op.
And no photo op. Great deal of pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Then there's a camera.
I can turn that way and look at the screen.
Yeah, wave up here.
Thanks, sir.
So a couple of other items. One is we have some new employees with us today. Michelle, would you go first?
Sure. I'm happy to announce and welcome our new HR analyst, Samantha Halverson. Samantha comes to us
from the city of Hayward. My friend was working there. And she worked there as an analyst for a couple years, and prior to that, she worked in HR for the San Francisco State University system. So we're very excited to have Samantha here. Enjoy. Thank you.
Very
Welcome.
welcome. Dan?
Just like to introduce our two newest members of the Mechanical Maintenance Division. This is Jaime Chavez and David Higueras. Jaime comes to us from the Cal State University system at Monterey Bay, where he was a fleet mechanic and has over 20 years of experience. And David comes to us from the city of Stockton, where he has over 8 years of experience, most recently as a senior mechanic. David will be joining us as a mechanic one in the lavma and water system, and Jaime will be a fleet mechanic out at the wastewater treatment plant.
Very good. Welcome. Welcome, gentlemen.
We continue new people coming on board. That's why it's pretty important that Michelle has her help as we continue through this process this evening and the next several months. One last item is LAFCO has put out a call for an opening for this special district position. Will become open. Georgine, you are an at-large member. This is a reminder of everyone. The recommendation would have to be done at the next board meeting. Dan will bring something back at the next board meeting, but if you're interested, maybe start the discussion at this point. So, and that's it for special announcements.
Okay, thank you. It's time for public comment for any item that's not on the agenda. Seeing none, we'll move on to closed session. We're going to go into closed session for the item described under agenda item 6. We will return with an announcement if there is one.
President Howard, you do have a presentation with your transparency certificate from the
Oh, that's...
the student local government.
Oh. Sorry.
Thank you, President Howard, board members. I'm Stan Caldwell. I'm on the board of directors of the Special District Leadership Foundation. Special District Leadership Foundation is a 501c3 education arm of the California Special District Association. I'm also a board member of the California Special Districts Association. I'm here tonight to present you with your Transparency Certificate of Excellence. I'm going to give you a little bit of information about the Special District Leadership Foundation. It's dedicated to promoting excellence in special districts through recognition programs that highlight and focus on implementation of government's best practices. Currently, there are 4 programs, 2 for individuals. That would be the Special District Administrator Certificate, which is primarily for staff management, and the recognition of Special District Governance, which is for board members and trustees. And then there are 2 for the District Distinction Accreditation and the Certificate of Transparency of Excellence. The Certificate of Transparency Excellence is a program created in 2013 that has an effort to promote the transparency and the operations and governance of programs of special districts. There are 3 basic components. There's basic transparency requirements that include ethics training as certificates for all the board members and a timely filing of the state controllers, special district financial transactions and a compensation report, website requirements, and then outreach requirements. Why is the certificate important? It's important because the public has the right to access and to open government, special districts, regardless of the type of our size, our public agencies that use public money and provide public services. The districts transparency means the district is open and accessible, engages the community, provides easy access to information through the media that you use, such as your newsletter, other public outreach efforts on the website. And it gives me great pleasure to come here before you tonight and present you with the transparency.
Thank you very much. We're very proud to be an open and transparent society. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, now that was it. Good thing I didn't try to wash the thing on transparent. Okay, yes, so now we'll be going into closed session, and there is a report, we'll announce that at the end of the closed session.
Thank you very much. Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's wonderful. Yeah, good. Yeah. Dan Max is the good guy. He's our new GM. That's what they're doing right now. Yeah. Do you have a comment? Yeah, we keep the stories coming. We also have DSRSD today that you can sign up for. It's a weekly email. That's a good way to keep your finger on the pulse. Okay, excellent. Yeah, if you go on the website, you can sign up for it. Yes. Excellent. Excellent. Well then, you know what? They're going to be down in the lower left-hand corners where all our news releases and DSRSD Today notices are. Lower left-hand corner. Yeah. But out today, that happens. Yep, no, I do. They disappear quickly. Excellent. But thank you for coming in and making the presentation. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, sure. And it is a lot of work to do.
It is, there's a lot of work.
Yes. Second time around, it's easier.
We've already been doing those things and keeping up with it.
And now we do it all electronically.
Right.
So our judges just come in and it's all electronic. It's all right there.
Sure.
You know? Yeah.
On the website, but there's
Yes. Excellent. I'll have to look. Yeah, I'll check it out. Because I got the checklist and everything from them, but I like the idea of like reforming agencies. That's good. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Tell my boss. Tell my new boss. They're voting on Dan McIntyre. He's the engineering services manager, and he's been selected to be the engineering manager, so they just have to sign the contract. So, it's a good thing. You met him? You met him?
Basketball,
you guys know anything over there?
It really is.
Oh, it's really okay, okay.
And snacks.
Oh, I know, so often. No, breakfast more. It's more like food. So we don't like to check before they get back. So we didn't do it tonight because it's, not yet a done deal. Gotta wait till it's a done Yeah. I'm Sue Stevenson. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Yes. I do communications. Yeah, we did. We certainly did. That's so much more Yes. Yes. Water? Yep. It's really criminal. Criminal. People stealing water in the drought? Shame on them. Yes, copper pipes. Right. So why don't people get because part that got me was that hackers, I know them to a hospital, they stole them. I just can't. Great, thank you. Thank you. And then raised the back for 17 grand. Yeah. It's bad. And they're doing it, they're hitting a lot of hospitals. So they must be on the vulnerable because they're making it a habit. Or it's just getting easier. At a higher tenure. Shore up our cyber security. Because they were born with a mouse in their hand. My 3-year-old granddaughter was punching buttons on her dad's phone and said, "Oh, you should start calling China." Or something. Oh, she has her games. She knows the little picture and answer. She had about 3 or 4 games. That, when he's driving long distances, he just gives her his phone. She's playing away. Once she can formulate words, we call China. It's there. It's going to be fun. It's good. No, I don't want No, northern's better than southern. We had more rain. I barely call. Well, also, our water use is...
We're 3 days in
Our water use is starting to jump there. 25%, still okay? But I thought it was like 3 days in water. Okay. That's why we're not. We just have it on the website. Or the 10 people visit our website. Do all the things here. That's good. That's good. Crunchy brown.
I'm thinking I'm coming back to the lawn, but a lot of my neighbors are like, no, so just keep fine, but it's not.
Get some pretty cacti. Get some pine. Oh. Oh, ouch. Ouch.
But despite as much as they have that, that's stuff is lost, but it's not really
There's all of those. Yeah, and the roses, that's the right. Scrubby looking roses. They're kind of nice. Like, to me, it's not really cute. Yeah, I have a solar maple one like that on the house. Big ones. About a year ago. Quite, I had a tree arborist come and say, should I save it or not? I said, yeah, cut it way back, and it's going to take 3 to 4, maybe 5 years. It's a little tiny bit of green leaves, but a lot of bare branches. No, not a lot of, like, okay. Part of why I bought this house. I bought this whole trees. It's a big, huge shade, gorgeous tree. Really? Not now. It's now sort of Halloween-esque, year-round. Yeah, right.
You need to get some of that great recycled water and bring it home.
I know. I haven't gone that far to invest in the bins and the transport. I have a Honda Accord. How much can I get in the trunk?
Well, you know what, it doesn't say that in a 5-gallon bucket, put them back there.
Well, actually, I do shower water.
Well, that's
Because
what you're
I
doing.
have about 4 gallons
Sure.
of cold water before I get to hot.
Right.
So that gets trooped out to the tree. I really, that gets old very quickly.
Two of my neighbors bought some of those 150-gallon
Totes?
totes, and I don't have a truck.
One of them does, yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah, and you have a thriving landscape, right?
Oh, yeah, there's better than what I usually consider.
Yep. Yep. Well, it's got built-in fertilizer.
Yeah.
That's why, you have those nitrates going.
I get my house at the same.
Yeah, yeah. Yep. No, it's good.
When you start restricting your walks, I'm sure it's always there. Simple thing.
Yep. Yeah, well, we have people drive more than 30 miles to come to our recycle water plant. Uh-huh. Where do you live, Stan?
I live in Martinez.
In Martinez?
Yeah, I'm on the board of Mountain View Sanitary.
Okay.
We partner.
Yeah.
Anything else, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so when they opened it up, that was nice and close.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, the household has its waste, and the area where the recycled water station is for residential is on the property sewer line, safe.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful.
Across the street probably.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a natural partnership.
Right.
Yeah, very good, very good. Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good.
I know we had a change.
Okay, guys, come on. How long can it take?
Are they fighting over growth issues?
There's two for doctors and dentists.
But I just seen one. They're both general managers, so I think that's 5 o'clock. I think that item 13 got moved to item 6. And did he get that?
And get shot?
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's what it looks like. Huh. Better do it first, talk to our district secretary. Something else that looks like a
Okay, now we're back in session. We're on to item number 7, which is to report closed session, and there is nothing to report. So now we're moving on to item 8, reports.
So, President Howard, board members, all's going well. I'm looking forward to turning the reins over to Dan after the meeting for 4 hours, whatever the case may be. And I want to publicly thank both Dans for their support and encouragement the last 5 months. I've had a lot of fun. And thank you for the opportunity to do this. It really has been fun. It's been a challenge, but it's been a lot of fun. And I look forward to helping Dan in his transition. That's my report.
The agenda management.
Maybe before we run up into the event calendar, we got a couple of things on the event calendar. So the employee dinner reminder is this Saturday, Dublin Ranch, 6 o'clock. Try and send you an email reminder to later in the week. Cool, if we can try and do that. April 20th is the Dublin State of the City address at Shannon Center. It's a lunchtime event. Didn't notice anybody else signing up. If you're interested, maybe coordinate with staff. Kind of have a staff table already, but we can probably juggle if you would like to attend that. And May 3rd through 5th is Aqua and their conference in Monterey. So far, Director Mishloff and Mr. McIntyre have signed up to go. So anybody else who would like to attend in Monterey, let us know when we will attend.
It starts on the Tuesday.
We will talk. The new GM will discuss that at the next meeting. And what we're going to do.
There's a reason I hesitate.
Yeah, the agenda looks relatively light. We were talking the other day about possibly that. With that said, agenda management. So one of the items we just handled in closed session, at the end of the meeting, something comes up in items 11B or E that need to be discussed to that. You have a consent item coming up on the agenda with master agreements. You also have in front of you some revised resolution. That item for discussion. Mr. McIntyre can explain the changes in there and you can ask any questions at that time.
So let's see, committee reports, we have none. Approval of minutes is the next item. Well, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes to consider. The regular meeting of March 5th, a special meeting of March 18th, a special meeting of March 24th, and a special meeting of March 25th. So,
One second.
okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve those minutes. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. That carries 4-0. The next item is the consent calendar, and we're pulling item 10A. Approve master agreements for consulting services on the on-call professional and technical services.
President Howard, staff report for that item notes the limits of a task order for any project is $500,000. Basically, that's the design assignment for a particular capital project. And then furthermore, the staff reports notice there's a total cap over the 3-year term of the agreement of $1.5 million for any consultant. And the purpose of the cap is to encourage using more than just one consultant for design work over the next 3 years. However, these limits are not explicitly shown in the sample master agreement or the resolutions. They're mentioned in the staff report. So just to clear up any ambiguity and to properly document future staff, you might want to see those numbers in the agreement of the resolution. We've modified the resolution using track changes. You have a track changes version there to incorporate those limits explicitly in the board resolution. Kind of a belt and suspenders thing. It's in the staff report, but we just wanted it documented really clearly in the resolution. So we just added those limits from the staff report into the resolution.
Probably a good idea, given what recently happened in the city. That sounds good to me.
Yeah, do those amounts, are they factored into the budget under the capital project, or is it?
Yes, they are. So the appropriations already made, and all of the designs are anticipated and are correlated with those.
I'll move approval of item
As modified?
As modified.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded. Any questions, discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. That carries 4-0. So we move on to item 11A.
President Howard, the board considered and discussed potential changes to the use of clean water revival facilities on March 15th. By consensus, the board directed revisions to this use of clean water revival facilities policy to be consistent with other board actions that have occurred over the last year. The key policy shift is from a position of policy prohibiting developing a potable reuse project to an intent to develop a potable reuse project. So that's a 180-degree change in the policy. The board suggested a nuanced, subtle approach on how the new policy would be drafted in light of recent Tri-Valley collaborations. The key change is the addition of the first policy statement, which I'll read to you, and it states, "It is the policy of the Board of Directors of the Dublin San Ramon Services District in partnership with Zone 7 and other Tri-Valley water retailers to develop a potable reuse water supply project in the use of the district's existing planned reverse osmosis facilities." In some cases, the policy acknowledges that some of our existing reverse osmosis facilities and other clean water revival facilities may be repurposed in some way, but in other cases, it may be impractical to use those facilities. So the policy is written to allow for some flexibility in which of those facilities might be contributed toward an indirect potable reuse project. I do want to note that there is a typographical error in the first policy statement. It just says the zone in the first line. And if in your motion you could say, if you could request that say Zone 7 rather than just the zone. If you could correct that correction in its motion, we'll clean that up. Staff's recommending the board adopt a revised use of clean water revival facilities policy, rescind resolutions 45-02 and 5611, and direct the general manager to work collaboratively with other Tri-Valley agencies to complete a joint potable reuse study. The attached resolution incorporates those actions.
I will move to adopt the revised policy with correction to Zone 7 on the policy. I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Carries 4-0. And that did include directing the general managers to work with other agencies. Okay, item 11B.
President Howard, the Bay Area Biosolids Energy Coalition has been pursuing state granting for a biosolids energy project for about 8 years now. A recent bill, Senate Bill 1213, introduced by Senator Wachowski, who represents the South Bay, is a useful vehicle for providing some of the funding for a biosolids energy project. The bill, as it's currently drafted and amended, would provide $20 million annually for biosolids energy projects statewide. Presumably, DSRSD would be near the head of the line for that funding because we have a project that we're working hard on developing. The very first Senate committee hearing was held last week. So we've been trying 8 years to get a bill in front of the legislature and get a hearing. So we finally got our first hearing last week. And there was unanimous bipartisan support from the Energy Committee of the Senate. So the first hearing in 8 years. So the legislative process is going to continue to be arduous. There's lots more committee hearings to come. Again, in fact, tomorrow there's a second hearing before the Environmental Committee of the State Senate with more hearings to follow, including appropriation hearings. So we're cautiously optimistic that this bill may continue to advance and give us a funding opportunity. The next step is to meet with Assemblywoman Baker and Senator Glazier to introduce our biosolids to energy project here at the district and to build support. They have not yet been on a committee that's considered this, but at some point the bill will come before them on one of the committees or perhaps before the full Senate and Assembly. And so we'd like to bring them along and get their support. Staff recommends that 1 or 2 board members make themselves available to meet the state legislatures along with staff. So the staff's going to go make this pitch, but it would be helpful in building support for Senate Bill 1213 if we could have 1 or 2 board members join. There may be a chance to meet with representatives here in their local district offices, but if that's not convenient in terms of timing, we might need to trek up to Sacramento and see if we can meet them there. So that's staff's recommendation. As a recap on the project, there are a lot of steps in developing biosolids to energy project going forward. We basically addressed the Bay Area Biosolids to Energy Coalition has addressed the science of the project. We know that the technology works. The next steps are kind of looking at it from an engineering perspective, looking at it from an operational perspective, and ultimately the financial plan. And some of those are very big hurdles. We're going to go do a research project, sending 3 of our staff to the pilot facility that's operating right now in Valencia, Spain, and we'll report back on some of those engineering and operational issues. And we're going to find other agency partners to help us develop and operate this project. We need to develop some potentially complicated financing agreements and partnership agreements. So there's a lot of hurdles in front of us, but certainly state funding that was made available would make jumping some of those hurdles a lot easier. If we don't have that funding, it's a very tough road to hoe, but if some of this funding comes through, certain things become very plausible. So staff's recommending that 1 or 2 board members express interest in helping navigate the legislature for this project and funding through Senate Bill 1213.
Do you have any idea on the timing of when?
The calendars are dicey, so we're going to have to kind of float it. For the most part, we're kind of subject to the will of the scheduling of the senator and the assembly person. I'm hoping to get a meeting set up sometime in the next 4 to 6 weeks.
At CAFS in Palm Springs, Don, the legislative advocate for Babe 2E, I
Don
can't remember his
Gilbert,
last
yes.
name,
Don Gilbert.
asked if anyone there had any connections, and I told him I happened to know someone that was on Senator Glazier's staff. So I've been trying to coordinate with her to get a date, and I just got an email from her today that said, he signed on to the bill, do you still want to meet? In the meantime, I talked with Catherine Baker, and she's willing to come here for a presentation. If Senator Glazier can come here too, we can do them both at the same time.
And I'll strive to make something convenient like that happen.
In 2013, I was in D.C. when Senator Rowe made their presentation to the committee, so I would simply have to volunteer to participate.
And I would like to volunteer to
so I hear
Three.
3 expressions of interest, which is Brown Act violation, I think too much enthusiasm.
Yeah.
I need 1 or 2.
Who wants to be the alternate?
I've been going to the big 2B meetings for the 17 years they've been trying to do it. Whatever it is, 8 years.
We could even, if we had to have separate meetings, we could even, mix it up between the 2 representatives, but I can't have more than 2 of you in the room at a
Okay.
time.
All right. Let's see, is there any direction other than?
Just consensus as you've done. That's all we need.
Okay, very good. Now we'll move on to item 11C.
President Howard, staff is nearing completion of our urban water management plan. The plan needs to follow certain state criteria. Because it has to follow these prescriptive requirements and how the information and our planning is presented, its usefulness as a true master plan is somewhat limited. We wouldn't write it that way if we were at liberty to do so. We also have a water supply and conservation policy, which the board approved last October and talked about the role of diversifying our water supply and also gaining local control on our water supply. But the policy did not talk about the implementation timing. And so staff is trying to reconcile the policy with the information that's presented in the urban water management plan and our existing contractual requirements. So staff would like to refer this matter to the Water Resources Committee to give an update sometime this month, because the schedule is for us to circulate the urban water management plan for comment in May, to bring it for the required public hearing on May 17th, and ideally bring it back for final approval by the board on June 7th in advance of the June 30th deadline. We'd like to meet with the Water Resources Committee and run a couple of ideas past the committee in advance of the public circulation at the beginning of May. So the Water Resources Committee representatives are President Howard and Director Forte, and we're suggesting that perhaps a convenient time to meet would be just prior to the next board meeting on April 19th. But if that date's not convenient, some other day in April would be convenient if the board's open to referring this matter to the Water Resources Committee.
Let's see, there's something else.
Lucy, please.
Just prior to that meeting.
Yes. There is.
So,
Could we do it immediately following the board meeting that evening? It's probably a 20 or 30-minute discussion.
actually, that's good.
You could do it maybe like at.
How about the day before or something? On the day after that meeting, I'm getting up at 3:30 in the morning to catch an airplane, so I don't want to be hanging around too much.
Okay, if April 18th works for you, we can make that work.
Works for me.
Yeah, we could have that standard time is typically 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, day before, April 18th.
That's good. Yeah. I'll send you a verification.
Okay.
Okay. Item 11D. That.
President, members of the board, what a pleasure it is to be able to introduce this item for you tonight. Back in November of 2015, your longtime general manager retired to a life of short wearing. And you embarked on an arduous process to select his replacement, beginning with the selection of your interim manager, Mr. Archer, and culminating a couple of weeks ago when the board selected Mr. McIntyre as the replacement for Mr. Walczak. What what you have in front of you as far as the agenda materials are the personal services agreement with exhibits, including compensation and benefits. And what you have before you is a resolution which would both remove Mr. McIntyre from his current position as engineering services manager and make the appointment to him as a general manager, and then to approve the contract, the PSA that's in the agenda. Along with that, the item appears the way it does so that the board can solicit public comment and hear what the public has to say about the materials in front of you and the proposed agreement with Mr. McIntyre. With that, I will hand this back over to the President of the board.
Is there any discussion before I open it to public comment? Any questions? Public comment. Anybody wish to speak on item 11D? About Mr. Burke.
What's your name and address, please?
You know, I've been doing this long enough, I know I don't have to give either one. Pat, Ed, Maddie, and Georgine, it's really, and Dan, it's really a pleasure for me to be here on this evening to encourage you to appoint Mr. McIntyre as the next general manager of the district. I had the pleasure to work across the table from Dan in a collaborative fashion when he was with the city of Livermore, and then here at DSRSD we worked together. I didn't have the pleasure of working for Dan. I think that would have been a really, and I really mean this sincerely, Dan, I think that would have been a great opportunity to work for you. And I say that because when you made the decision that weekend, I thought you got infected by a virus on your IT system. I had more emails from district employees, telling me that Dan had been appointed, but more importantly, telling me what a great choice that was and that they were glad to see that. So congratulations. Dan, I have all the confidence in you that you're going to lead the district to bigger and better things than I ever was able to. So continue the great work here at the district. And I attest that Dan, I think, is going to be a great choice for you, and I wholeheartedly recommend you go forward with this motion. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, President Howard and members of the board, of the district board. My name is Stephen Kiefer, and I'm the Community Development Director for the City of Livermore. I had the opportunity to work with Dan over many, many years in Livermore, and we became co-workers, managers within the city, and close friends through that time. I would like to encourage you to, again, select Dan as your next district general manager. Dan's intellect, his energy, his ability to always think big picture, and most of all, his leadership will present him as an excellent manager for you guys, and I commend you on your appointment. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to speak? Okay, is any member of the board?
I will resolve move to appoint Dan as the manager.
Sure.
Comments, okay. I sort of started out with a little bit of bias when we started reading all the 50 resumes. Could not believe it. But I wanted someone that understood the politics in the valley. And I think that's really crucial for our general manager. There's things to be said about starting out fresh, but if you start out fresh here, you have a year at least to find out what's up and who really are your friends. So we not only chose someone who has the ability to do that, but already knew quite a bit about it and is able to work collaboratively with our fellow cities, which hasn't always been possible, but it's certainly gotten much better over the last few years. I look forward to working with you. I think we're going to have fun. Remember, I'll challenge you every step of the way, but I am looking forward to it.
I just need to share the whole picture. There's one thing holding you back. You were so strength-based in your abilities, and what tipped the scales for me was your you were animated. Everybody on staff says who you are. And that just put everything on your shoulders. Looking forward to working with you.
Well, being an engineer, my first requirement is that we hire an engineer. And I've said it in many meetings before, given the complexity of the issues we face, the equipment that we'll be installing and buying and now with these new movements that we're going forward with the Tri-Valley and potable water reuse. Aside from all that, what impressed me was the year that you've been here, because it was very clear, not just in the interview, but in knowing you and working with you last year, how quickly you grasped the importance of our mission and what our role is going to be in the Tri-Valley, and you're rising to a position of leadership within the management team, where I just had a real good comfort level. And the interview went very well, but I kind of expected it, and I'm just very glad that it worked out the way it did. I wholeheartedly support you and look forward to working.
Okay, and I echo what everyone here has said. You had a lot of good competition, really. There were some really impressive resumes, some good interviews, and so but you rose to the top, and I'm looking forward to working.
Congratulations.
Is there that motion?
And I second, and Tricia seconded.
Okay, so.
Just for the clarify for the record that the motion and second from Directors Micheloff and Juanita Leopold included the approval of the resolution.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So passes 4-0. Congratulations.
Thank you, President Howard. Could I offer a comment for a minute or two? So I want to express my appreciation and gratitude to the board. I'm very excited to be your next general manager, and I intend to maintain and build upon the existing traditions and legacy of DSRSD. I'm very happy to be your general manager. I'd like to offer some special thanks to Bert Mihalchek, who for hiring me when we meet at DSRSD a year ago and showing me a lot of the ropes. He was very helpful. Very special thanks to Don Archer, who I think did an absolutely magnificent job as the interim general manager. He kept all the critical things going. He wisely selected less pressing items and put those kind of on autopilot over the back burner during a period of lower staffing. He provided a lot of guidance and counsel during a period of staff flux. He was a great counselor to the entire full management team. I also appreciate the support of my direct reports in engineering, Medora Biakton, Judy Zabadil, and Gemma Blatney for helping me get oriented and settled here at DSRSD. Also appreciation to key managers and supervisors in the department, or in the district, especially Dan Gallagher, Sue Stevenson, and Michelle Gallardo. I know that Dan Gallagher has seen me drifting off into the swamp a few times and pulled me back and saving myself more than one occasion. And then lastly, thanks to all the DSRSD staff who have welcomed me and encouraged me along the way. Very appreciative, and thank you for the appointment.
Thank you. Very good. All right. Let's see, do we have more business? We have one more. Gotta get rid of that guy. Okay, I think General Counsel handles this again, item 11B.
President Howard, members of the board. Yes, this is the companion item to what you just completed, which is releasing Mr. Archer from his service as interim general manager and returning him to his position he held prior. I will note we have one change to make on the resolution, and it's page 1 of that resolution, the third whereas from the bottom. And this is, we're making this just to make sure that we have a continuous, a continuity of managers so that there's not the slightest gap. As we calculated through here, we determined we might have 5 or 6 hours where if on one calamity were to strike, we would have no one actually in charge. So we'd like to change that recital to read, and I'll help you. Whereas the board desires to terminate manager's temporary appointment as interim general manager without cause and in light of and coincident with the intended appointment of a permanent general manager effective April 6, 2016.
Any particular time of day?
Just
About 1 a.m.
coincident, just coincident with. So I believe that will get Mr. Archer to force Mr. McIntyre to sign his contract as soon as possible.
All right. Well, before we hear a motion on that, I'd like to express my thanks to Mr. Archer for filling in as interim general manager. I agree with what Dan said, he's done a fantastic job. Kept the district running smooth, worked collaboratively with the other senior managers, really appreciate it.
No emergencies.
No.
You're still the chair.
Thank you very much.
Amazing.
As you know, this is a rough time, could have been a rough time for the district with not having a permanent GM, and you filled the bill. So, thank you.
And I appreciate the one-on-one personal conversations we had with everything that was going on at that time. And just can't thank you enough for the job.
I echo that. You were amazing. You were, kept everything together.
Move to approve and adopt the amended resolution as stated by General Counsel.
Also,
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? That carries unanimously. So that gives us to a closed session that we will not be, correct? Well, that's, yeah, board member items, and we will not be in closed session, but board member items. Georgine?
One thing I have is, I just, it's not a particularly a board thing, but I had the privilege of meeting with Kathy Baker. I was invited to the advisory board, water advisory board. And it was very interesting. It was a really well-run, thoughtful presentation. And I think most of these people, us with exception of two, are on board with our ramping up of the use of recycled water.
I attended item two.
Yeah, and it's just, yeah, it was a good experience.
I also attended the meeting on John and Mark. I think that I was pleased that Captain Baker received our comments, so that was really be on board and asked a lot of very good questions and showed genuine interest in the Renaissance support.
I guess the big thing is he's planning on being ongoing,
Yes.
understand what the issues are.
Yeah, I found her to be very updated on all the issues. I really was kind of surprised that someone could step in with relatively no prior experience and understand a lot of what's happening.
She does her homework.
Yeah, she does.
And she's very receptive.
So I don't have anything extra to report.
Okay, well, neither do I. So as I stated before, we will not be item 13. So with that, the meeting is adjourned.
Well,